Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bangin with Mikey, episode 17. And today we're going to talk about a couple different range of topics, but word of the day today is celluloid. And that means of or involving motion pictures. Now, like I'm a little bit of a geek when it comes to certain things like music, words, and just things like that. Before we all got our smartphones and everything, my dad bought me this thing when I was like 16. Like he bought me this digital dictionary, right? And I was like 15 or 16. And he told me like, yo, carry this wherever you go, carry this with you. You know what I mean? So if you don't know a word, you can look it up, or whatever it is. And that kind of sparked my love for language. And if I could go back, I would probably major in if I could go back to college and get another degree, I would probably major in English, knowing what I know now. And it's crazy to me because it's like when I do my Sunday check-ins with my boys and a few other people, I use words that I try to use in everyday conversation. Like they be asking me like, "Yo, how you doing?" This and this and that. I'm like, "Yo, everything's copacetic," and like they be like, "Bro, what does that even mean?" I'm like, "It's a pretty well-known word. I mean, it's not like I'm using a word that's like off the wall, you know, or like it's not like I'm using a word like you know, biblioid or whatnot, which is a keeper of ancient books and whatnot. I could understand if I was using a word like that. Then okay, yeah. But yeah, man, that's my thing, bro. It's like I love looking up words. I love trying to use words, that aren't your normal vocabulary words in a sentence, and that's what expounds me to write music, man. It's like I just when I sit down with my pen and my pad, I try to come up with ways to rhyme different words, to the transitions between words, the breaks between words, or I try to find ways to not say the same word over and over and over again, I try to find like I literally go to the to the Thesaurus app and I look up different words of the same thing. I mean, it's like it's um my my love for words, my love for language, man, is pretty well rooted. Probably because when I was a junior in college, I had to take this course. It was it was a requirement. It was linguistics, and it was an easy course, it's like linguistics 101 or whatever it was. I basically slept my way through it. Um, and we had to do a project on language, right? And like she teacher said, hey, you can pick whatever you want. So naturally, I'm a hooper, so, and I know that the NBA has a bunch of foreign dudes, right? So I did a whole lecture on that, and like she looked at me, she's like, yo, I didn't realize that the NBA had so much foreign talent. And yeah, and when I think of words, man, or when or even when I'm reading my books and I don't understand what a word means, I'll stop reading and I'll go look it up, and I'll try to use that word in its correct sentence and its correct situation and everything, man. So I'm a little bit of a geek, to be honest with you. There's a there's there's a lot more to me than what you see, and yeah, man, it all expounds from my dad basically. Everything that I've done, whether it's music, school, um, everyday life in general. And I mean, it's like it all comes from him. And so it's like I remember one time, uh, I was 15 or 16, and I came up from work, and I was hot. I was steaming, and so me and my dad had a conversation, and he said, "Bruh," he's like, "You gonna run into a lot." shit that's 10 times worse than this as as you get older. And as a black man in America, he's like, I don't care where you living at, man. Is you gotta be able to control your emotions and be able to realize that not everything's needs a reaction to it. Me being in my 30s now, I realize like, yo, what he was saying is 100% true because he's been there. Like he grew up in the 50s and 60s in Baltimore, Maryland, where redlining was a thing. Segregation was still a thing. I mean, it's like he used to tell me stories. He's like, bro, it wasn't until 1964 in I think he was stationed. I think he was stationed in California. Long Beach or San Diego, one or the other. And he's like, bro, it wasn't until 1964 where I got to sit. When me and my partners got to sit down in a restaurant and get served, bro. And my dad was 20 years old at the time, bro. So could you imagine growing up and not being able to go through certain neighborhoods or not being able to go through, to sit at a restaurant and get served, have to go through the back door to get your food, man. It's like, so, yeah, man, it's like when I think of difficult shit, I'm like, bro, this ain't difficult at all. You know, like, cause in the grand scheme of things, the 1950s wasn't that long ago, bro. That was 70 years ago, and that's why I trip out when people say, oh, this is difficult, that's difficult, like. And I look at that shit like, no, it's not, man. It's like, it's your mental that make it difficult. It's your mental that you can't process or you can't comprehend what the fuck is going on. But back to the main point, man. Yeah, man, my love for words, bro. Like, my love for language, my love for music, and when it comes to music, I listen to pretty much everything, bro. Like, yeah, I pretty much listen to everything because I think every song or everything that you listen to can transport you back to a time where you can recall certain memories and everything like that as well. But yeah, yesterday I went out with a good friend of mine. We actually went out to pick out records, and so and I have picked up 4 or 5 different records. Nothing really crazy. But I figure if I'm gonna produce music, if I'm gonna get serious with this music, which I already am, I gotta expand my ability to sample music and different sounds and different genres too. And I've always loved vinyl because how it sounds when it hits the record. When the needle hits the record versus versus my dog. Versus my dog. My digital audio workspace. It's like, don't get me wrong, digital audio workspace is great, but there's certain things that vinyl that you can't replicate with vinyl, and that sound, that little, when the needle hits the record and you hear that little pop. It's like it just things like that, and so yeah, me and a good friend of mine, we went out yesterday, and she didn't pick up anything. She just came to kick it with me. So we did that, and we went off and had some lunch after that, man. Just sat there, had a conversation or two. You know what I mean? And it was refreshing for me because, like, for the last 4 or 5 months, all I've been doing, is going to work and training for the show and just keeping it, keeping it moving, keeping it pushing. And I had to find something that could break the monotony, the monotony of the cycle, because once everything kind of just snowballs into one big ass situation, and I'm like, nah. So I text her, I think I text her on a Monday, like, yo, or Tuesday, whatever it was. It's like, oh, hey, you want to go pick up, check out some records with me? You know what I mean? It's like, so, because I already knew that I was gonna do it. I just wanted somebody to go with me, And 90% of the time, she down to do some stuff too. So like, cool, you know. And it's actually I have to go set up my record player, you know, my turntables and everything. But hell, if anything, I might just go buy a new. I just might go buy new turntables because the turntables I got is from the 1970s where you have to have a amplifier and all the other shit hooked up to it. I'm like, man, let's go on Amazon and buy buy $50 turntable, man. It's the same shit. But yeah, man. I think it's extremely important, you know, to not just check up on people, you know, to not, you know, and you gotta mean it too, bro. It's like, you know, that's why when I do my Sunday check-ins, bro, it's like sometimes I call folks. Sometimes I'm on the phone for 2 hours with them, man. It's like, oh, sometimes it's like, like my partners will call me because it's like they know the conversations we have, male and female. You know, it's gonna stay between us. It's like I'm the type of nigga. It's like what you tell me, ain't nobody else gonna know. You know, what we talk about is gonna stay between us, man. Cause like I value that connection, and like I value somebody who's been vulnerable enough with me to realize like, yo, okay, like you know, I can trust him. You know, whatever I'm gonna tell him is, you know, like ain't nobody else gonna find out. And the reason I'm like that, man, because it's like I've been burned a lot before. You know, where like you tell some, you know, you tell dudes stuff in confidence, and it's like, bro, it's like, you know, next thing you know, five other motherfuckers know your business, and it's like, only way these motherfuckers know your business is because of your ass. So you know, I ain't fucking telling them. That means your bitch ass told them. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, kind of bouncing around with these topics, bro. But to wrap all this up, man, it's like, you know, whether it's my love for English words, you know, music, whatever, you know, the Sunday check-ins, and it's like I do all this stuff, bro, especially the Sunday check-ins because mental health, man, along with everything else, is extremely important, and it doesn't take much to send a text, or it doesn't take much to take, to make a phone call. And a lot of people don't want to talk about what they got going on in their head, like it's some sort of taboo subject, or like it's some sort of embarrassment, right? And it's not. And it's like, bro, if you got some shit going on in your head, partner, it's like, you know, reach out to that individual or reach out to them group of friends that you know who's gonna keep it a buck with you. You know, reach out to them because it's like, you know, I know quite a few people who were here last year before the pandemic hit, and now they're not. And a lot of people are looking for a temporary, you know, they take that temporary solution, you know, a temporary problem for, you know, for a long-term solution. And I just look at that like, oh, it's like I had this quote, you know, that I posted on my Instagram story a couple weeks back, and I said, life is a struggle, but life is also beautiful, and that's all I said. And one of my homegirls from high school, from like 15 years ago, she was like, yo, she's like, she's like, she's like, that's adulting 101. It's like, yeah, it's like everything's a struggle, man. It's like that's why I tell people, it's like we all in the same struggle. You know, we just at different levels, bro. You know, it's like some people got it worse than you, other people got it better. But you know, like Nipsey famously said, he's like, the struggle's a struggle, man. It's like it matters what you gonna do about it. You know, and it's like everybody everybody's level is different, but it doesn't mean you can't level up. You know, from your current situation, man. It's like it all boils down to your excuse me. It all boils down to your mental. You know, like how can you handle this shit? You know, like you know, because when you really think about it, bro, everything that was, you know, that was detrimental to you or hard for you to overcome, if you still here, you still breathing, that means it wasn't that difficult, bro. Or that means your mental was strong enough to where you was able to handle that shit. So I think a lot of people, man, is like they gotta stop, you know, saying that woe is me shit, you know, or they gotta stop broadcasting their problems Because number one, bro, we all go through shit. You know, I go through shit. My partners go through shit. My homegirls go through shit. I mean, it's like, but you don't see us on social media, you know, looking for attention like some of these folk, man. It's like, and it's like a weekly thing, bro. Or like they be in person talking about it all the time, man. It's like, bro, you know what I mean? And I know a few people like that, man. So I was like, bro, it's like either you gonna do something about your situation or you not. I mean, it's like, cause talk is cheap, motherfucker. It's like the more you talk, bro, the more I'm gonna be like, yeah, he or she ain't about it. You know what I mean? Cause it's like it's simple to me. It's like either you gonna buck the fuck up or you gonna or you gonna fall back. You know, so but yeah, I'm gonna hop off this thing because it's 16 minutes of your life that you'll never get back. But thank you for listening to me with my podcast, bro. Y'all have a beautiful Sunday. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay dry. You know, y'all keep it pushing, keep it positive, keep it clear, keep it private. Your boy checking out. Goes.